First of all, how are you today, guys? From 1 to 10. How are you feeling today? From 1 to 10. 8? Good. That's good. 10. That's good. Hello, Pan. How are you? Great. Fantastic. Yes, that's good. No 11? Yeah, I'm feeling a 10 today also. I'm feeling like a $1 million. Sí. Okay, guys. So today we are gonna look at sentiment and trend analysis. This is from a series we started the last webinar, how to trade price action like a pro. But I'm not gonna focus too much on two slides today. We're gonna look at charts, a lot of charts, and think about the chart, what is behind, and all of that. So a little bit of a quick reminder. Okay. Sentiment. What is the sentiment? I'm going to remind a little bit this, okay? It's the general bias for an instrument or specific sector. Getting the sentiment is really an art, and that takes practice and experience. Following fundamental data and looking at the chart to see if they agree or not, it's a good way to gauge sentiment, okay? Being contrarian is usually the right side of the market. Looking for risk aversion, risk seeking. So we are going to look into detail a little bit more into each of these things. Okay. Why is getting the sentiment really an art? Because it's very hard to measure all the market participants, their risk level, their entry levels, their objective. It's very hard to measure all of that. Okay. Everybody have their own different goals when it comes to trading and investing. So it's really an art. You need to go to look at the big picture. Okay. In Forex, the main players we need to be aware of are the central banks. They are the ones who set interest rates. They are the ones who print the currencies. Okay, and they do the policies of each currencies. So that's the key players. We need to look at them. We need to keep an eye on them. The central banks in Forex market. Okay, we need to think if for their economy is in their best interest to have a strong currency or a weak currency. In the case of Japan, for example, right now. Okay, so they are printing yens because it's in their best interest to have a weak yen. So exports grow, more people go there in holidays. It's in their best interest, their economy recover at a faster rate with a weak currency. And then you go to the chart and you see, let's see if that applies. Go to the chart and you see a big trend. Okay, and it's confirming that. Because at the end, the bank don't need to print directly. Just saying they are going to do it is going to generate a big move. Just saying that, because all the big players are going to follow them. All the people are going to follow them. Okay. Right now, today, we are seeing a little bit of a strength of weakness on the yen. So, fundamental data, one thing to have in mind. Unemployment, central banks' announcement and policies. And then to see if the charts agree, it's very, very important. Because sometimes there is a divergence between price action and sentiment. Okay. Being contrarian. Okay, let's focus on that. Let's go to the next. Being contrarian. Being contrarian, it's usually the good thing to do. Okay. As I said on the last webinar, the majority can pay a minority, but the minority can't pay a majority. So usually, okay, and beware of extremes, because on the extremes is where you get the reversals. usually the minorities who make the money in trading, right? So you look at this, okay, euro dollar, pound dollar, looks like nobody is long. Nobody is long, 25% is long. And this is just one broker, okay? You need to have to look at more than one, because one broker don't represent the whole market. So this case, the same. Here is the same. There is more people short than long, okay? Another broker, the same. There is more people short than long. So this is giving us ideas for us to go to the chart and let's see if the chart agrees or not. Okay, in the case of euro dollar, it's not so clear. It's not so clear that price is on a strong uptrend. Okay, in fact, we are entering here in a small ranging period, call it that way. So when we will have a confirmation, when we have a good breakout of this high here to the left, 138.22 level. Okay, if we break that level to the upside with the speed, it's going to confirm that. Let's look at pound dollar. In this case, this is better, right? This is giving is confirming that, because the waves, trends move in waves, they are bullish, all right? Every pullback, the people is getting earlier on the trend. Every pullback, the people is getting earlier. They are jumping earlier, okay? Why is that? Why is that? Because the sentiment is the general belief. They believe that the value is here. The real value, it's up. It's higher up, okay? So believing that, they are willing to do what usually with it is the contrary, okay? Everybody, the majority of the people go and say, buy low, sell high, okay? So they are doing the contrary. They are buying higher every time, right? They are not waiting for it to go lower. They are buying every time because they think the value is higher. So they are doing the contrary. Okay, that's the sentiment. It's confirming. The chart is confirming the bullish sentiment on the pound and the bearish sentiment on the dollar. Okay, any questions on this? Any questions on this? Okay. So, looking for risk aversion, risk seeking. This is also one general thing we need to keep aware, an eye on that, okay? The people, the companies, the hedge funds, they need to put the money somewhere. Monies move from one country to another, from one economy to another. Okay, so in Forex, we need to look at the country, because the country and the bank and its economy, it is what is giving support to that currency. Okay, so Japan, for example, for many years has been a safe haven currency. It was going so because they have a strong economy supporting the yen. That's why we have that. Let's look at dollar yen, for example. Was going down from 135 to 75, 76. Okay, was too much for them at a point that was bad for their economy. The Swiss, let's look at the Swiss franc. The same. Okay? The same. Look at the Swiss franc. From 2000 to 2011, 11 years, we have a big drop. 10,000 pips, nearly 11,000 pips in a drop. Right? Because the Swiss economy is strong. Okay, the policymakers, the banks, they are strong. They have very strong loads. The economy is stable. So the money flows out of the weak economies through these economies in periods of uncertainty. That's how it is, because then there are periods where the people it's willing to risk a little bit more. The biggest players in the currency market, Bahram, are the central banks. Okay? And after the central banks, they are the hedge funds, the funds of funds, the people who follow the central banks with billions of buying or selling power of currencies, okay, of money. So, like George Soros, for example, the fund of George Soros is a family office, maybe have 300 billion under management, okay? The big players, I mean, there are one of the biggest funds in the world is BlackRock, for example, if you want to follow it. Let me see how much they have under management. I mean, it's an astounding, okay. I want this in English. They have 4,000 trillions under management. 4,000 trillions under management. Okay? I mean, this is not a small hedge fund. Okay? 4,000 trillion assets under management. This is one of the biggest players, if you ask me, after the central banks, obviously. So, yes. So, $4,000 trillion. 4,000. Right? So, do you want to know who's the market makers? I mean, the market makers are the banks, the liquidity providers. Okay? All the banks, not the central banks, the liquidity providers. The liquidity providers. You know? Yes. So, looking at this whole into consideration, let's look at some more exotic pairs, okay? Because this is great for us to. AUM, Linda, means assets under management, okay? Assets under management. That's, if you take their whole portfolio, that's the amount of assets they have under management, okay? Let's look at some different pairs, for example. This is the dollar Chinese yuan versus the Chinese yuan. And by the way, we have 3 days of reversal here because it's a downtrend. Remove these candles from your mind. Remove these candles from your mind. What do you think is the sentiment here? What is the sentiment here? We are going to look at that now. My trading style, Pedro, is price action trading, thinking about why the price moves and how it moves and thinking about it, thinking about the players we have, okay? And we are going to look at that now, Joe. How do we gauge opening market sentiment now on the chart with some more technical view? Weak dollar, strong... So, exactly. Weak dollar, a strong China. I mean, look at what is this, what this mean for the economy of China. Okay? What do you think is this giving? I mean, this is giving info. This is the dollar versus the Chinese yuan. The buying power of the Chinese is rising. Exactly. China is growing. Okay, it's giving us the sentiment, and makes sense. Makes sense because many people are moving from rural areas, from the village to the cities. Okay, imagine 50 New Yorks, 50 Madrids, 50 Paris, 50 Londons. You know, there are many, many big cities in China. Okay, so it's rising. The power, the buying power of the Chinese people is rising. They are becoming more and more and more the consumers. Okay, they are becoming more and more and more the consumers, not the exporters anymore. Okay, they export a lot still, but they are buying more and more and more with their money because it's how it is. They are the supply and demand. If there is more supply, more demand, for basic, like, I don't know, food, cars, more basic things, this is what happens. Keep in mind, looking at the right, that the nominal value is not so strong because it's 638 through 607. Okay? But still, you get the idea, you get the sentiment overall, the idea behind it. Because the dollar, for example, is not so, it's not going up either. Okay. Now, let's look, for example, at Africa, South Africa, okay? Let's look at this. What do you think this means? This is the dollar versus the African rand, South African rand, okay? How do you see this? It's an uptrend, right, that we know. Wafa, sound, it's okay, so please re-enter the room. So this is the upside down of China, okay? The buying power of South Africa is going down. It's going down. They are similar. Sentiment and trend, they are similar, okay? They go by hand. All right? They go hand by hand. So this is exactly the opposite of China. Okay, the buying power of South Africa is going down. They don't buy the same things; they buy less things. Okay, so with this you can get an idea of the economy there. You can look at the economy there and find for opportunities, profit from that. All right. So very, very important to have an overall sentiment. I don't get the question. Okay, so now this is the sentiment analysis. Okay, you need to think behind what implications have for the economy, for the people, for the exporters, for the buyers, for the daily to daily you and me, how it does affect you and me, right? Then you go to the charts to find opportunities, to follow the trend, to follow a strength. Now we are going to look at how we measure trend and sentiment on the charts. Okay, what I look for. I don't know Linda Chan, who is the CEO of is BlackRock. The company is called BlackRock, and that I don't know. You go to Google and ask. I don't know, no idea. Not very, very important, really. So now we are going to look more on a technical perspective on the charts, okay, on the trend analysis. All right, trends move in waves. We know that for sure. So how I like to look at that? Let's look at, I don't know. Tell me any pair. Whatever. Pound Aussie or Aussie dollar. Okay, Aussie dollar. Okay, so you look at the whole, okay? You need to be like a doctor. You need to be like a doctor. You put the weekly chart, even the monthly. I mean, to gather the trend and to gather the sentiment, the best thing is to load all the data you can. So you put the monthly chart. This is all the data we have here from 1993 till today. We make a high here. This is the high of all-time high, the Aussie dollar, on the Aussie dollar, and this is the all-time low. Okay, so we make a high. Price retested the high here. This is the first alert signal. Okay, after this bull run. Okay, after the crisis, this is the crisis of 2008. Aussie is very linked. Is linked to gold. Okay, so after the crisis, people, economists, investors look at where do I put my money now? They put on the Aussie dollar. Yes, like doctors. The first things a doctor does is look at the history of the patient, all the history. Okay, this is the patient you have in front. You look at the history of the patient. Then you look at where are we now? What is the problem the patient is having now? Okay? So, this is the first alert signal. Price is failing to continue up. The first alert signal that all these people that is here, they may start booking some profits, right? They may not want to risk all these winnings to know if we are going to make a new high again. All right. So price start to become on a contracting volatility, and now we broke to the downside again from this balance area, if you want to call it that way. Let's look at a weekly chart of Aussie dollar. So price narrows here, volatility is narrowing here, no so much movement here. So price change between high volatility and low volatility. That is how it is. Everything goes in waves in this life. It's how it is. So you can take these lows and mark them as a trend change point, right? This is a trend change point. The people is trailing the stops until there is no more reason to keep holding positions here. Price is breaking this coiling pattern. This is what we call the coiling pattern, plus the supports that price is not going anywhere, right? Now it's the contrary. Now people are selling earlier. Sentiment is changing. Trend can change. People is selling earlier. All right? So break out to the downside, retest here, and continuation to the downside. What you want to look at is at the macro, the whole picture. The momentum, the speed, the unbalance between buyers and sellers. Speed. This is usually the way to go. Don't fight momentum. Don't fight the momentum, okay? Follow the speed. The speed is a very big imbalance. Why this happens? Why do you think this speed, this fast movement happens? No others? Yeah, the trend line has been broken. Okay, but then what? Because here also we have another break, right? Exactly, no orders. There is nobody on the other side. There is nobody on the other side. Urgency to seek to book the profits. Exactly. They want to book the profits, and everybody is, I want it. Okay. Why I don't like indicators? Because, Boyki, indicators are based on price. So if I can use price alone, I don't need them, because indicators are going to give me different, if you put a couple of whatever, one of them is gonna give a positive bias, the other a negative one. It's gonna be a mess. They are lagging. Okay, they are lagging. They are not leading like price indicators. Okay. Price, I need to put an entry on the chart. I cannot put entry orders on the MACD. That's the thing also. Right? Price is different. Price, nobody can... price is price. Price, nobody can tell you the contrary. Indicator, well, if you change how many... MACD of how much? 10, 20, 40? If you change, it's going to change. But the price is the price. Our Aussie dollar is at this price right now. Nobody can argue with that. Right? No, I don't use Fibonacci, Mason. I don't use Fibonacci. It's an indicator based on price. Yeah? Right? It's not, if you ask me, it's not a bad indicator. Okay? Having into consideration that the majority, in my opinion, they are trash, in my opinion. Yes, I like naked charts, but what I like is to think what is happening behind the chart. What is happening? What is the people doing behind the chart? So anyway, let's continue. You mean this, a huge weekly demand found near 825.80. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we will see if the demand appears. We will see if the demand appears when we go there. I don't know if it's going to be demand. I can guess. Maybe. Price is going to tell you. When price goes there, you go to a 5-minute chart, and if it starts to change from downside to upside, then go long. Yeah. Okay. I know some style. Yeah, I know how he plays. I know how he trades. But it's the same. I mean, if price is going down on a downtrend, and you have whatever, let's say, okay, this is demand, whatever, and price is going down, then it's not so good for go long. I don't like to go counter trend, even if here is 1,000 trillion. I don't want to go, price is going down, right? It's going down. And by the way, some style is the same thing. Let me draw. Very fast. Very fast. In fact, let me look at an example I'm going to draw for you this. So everything is the same, no? Is this a style, no? It's going up, then suddenly a raise on price. You do like that. This is a demand area. Okay. If you zoom in here, what is that? That is this. Right? That is that. It's the same concept. It's the same thing, right? It's support and resistance. So, my respect for him. I think it's a fantastic teacher. So, let's look at the candles. Let's look now at the micro, okay, at the micro, all right? What is happening now? What can give me the bias now? There are two candles that gives you the short-term bias, okay? No problem, Joe, no problem. Pedro, I trade on intraday charts, 15 minutes, 1 hour. I get my trends analysis from daily and weekly. I'm trading live and I'm teaching also, Pedro. If you want to know more, visit our webpage or add me on Skype. I'm here to help. So there are two kinds of candles that gives you the bias on a short term also. This is inside the trend analysis, okay? One is the inside bar, and the other one is the pin bar, okay? This gives you the bias for the next days. Let me find some examples for you. Right? We have a pin bar here, for example. Okay, this one worked perfectly. That's the thing. It's nothing you can do about that. It's the past. We can look at some live examples now. So I learned myself, Boiki. I learned from the years, a little bit from this guy, a little bit from the other. It's nothing new. I mean, this is as old as the sun. What I'm teaching here is as old as the sun. Nobody invented nothing in trading. Yes, we are going to look at that also, Braham. So, pin bars. This is as old as the sun. I mean, nothing is new, guys. I didn't invent the wheel. Nobody invent anything. As old as the sun, okay? You take the best. What I did, I take the best from everybody. I took the best. So, pin bars. This gives you the bias for the next days. If we break above the high of the pin bar and price continue up, it's a positive signal, okay? Let me find some intra. For example, this is an inside bar. It's not the best example. This is an inside bar. Okay. This can give the bias also at the same time. The candle is inside the body, the high and the low of the other candle. All right. So when this breaks, you wait for the retest of the other sides and a continuation up. So I don't want to get lost here. Let's look a little bit more at trend analysis. Let me find some examples for you. Let me see if I can find some examples for you. Gold is a nice example. Similar to Aussie, it's similar. Okay, so we have an uptrend. Price is going up from the left. We have a very long uptrend. All these people in profit. A couple of years of taking of profits booking here. Now we have an alert. It's failing to make a new highs here. It's failing. This is my first alert where I say, okay, this is not a trend change yet, but it can be. So what I do is I look at the origin of the failures. I look at the origin of the failures and put a line there. Because everybody is looking at that. So you wait for the price to go back. And you don't know if it's going to change the trend or not. You don't know that. It's impossible to know. Nobody knows. Okay. But what you do is you wait for the price to go there. If price breaks below and goes up again, it's a buy signal. It's a very strong buy signal. Very strong. Okay? This is what happened at this time. Price goes again and test again. But look at the difference. This time we don't have very strong reaction short term. The buyers here of the last time, they are not so excited this time. They are not so eager to go and buy like the other time, like the last time, all right? So it's giving you info. It's giving you information every time. Next time, here we have a coiling pattern. Small coiling pattern here. Breaks to the upside this time with momentum. Great. We go again to the same line. Again, boom, oof. This time, I think this is what they call a breakout. This is what I think. Guys, look at that. What happens here? What happened here? What happens here? I need you to think, guys. I need you to think. What is going on here when price do this? When prices behave like this, what happens there? Who is doing what there and with what purpose? Right? No more buyers, or maybe the buyers get absolutely crushed, right? What is happening there? profit taking, reverse. Yes, all of that is good. No one on the other side. Are you sure? Maybe. Right? What is happening here is all of what you said. Exactly. A change of sentiment. Here, the 1 minute trader, 5 minute trader, 15 minute trader, 1 hour trader, H1, H4, daily, weekly, monthly, all the traders of every time frame, short term, long term, everybody, exactly, they go short. We know that many traders, one of them is going to hold 5 minutes, one of them is going to hold the next day, one of them is going to hold for 2 months, one of them is going to go short 3 years. Okay, that is the kind of questions you need to ask yourself. Who entered there? And why? Are they going to hold their position? Are they going to continue short? Are they going to take profit? Exactly. So maybe the next days, this is the short-term players. They are taking profit. They just play a breakout and they take profit. But the long-term players, they are still holding. They say, no, we are going to wait. Okay, maybe here some people is start to take profit more, the swing traders, for example. Right? So you need to look at that. You need to look at that always. Any questions on that? And now we are here. Entries, stops, and exits. Yeah, I mean, Boyki, we see, we are going to view this on the next series. Okay? We are going to look at areas to make business on the next webinar, and we are going to look at entries, exits, execution a little bit. You know the 3 kind of entries I showed the last time, ABC, all right? Breakout, retest, fade or failure. That's a good question, Pan. How do you go to revert to the upside sentiment? Looking at the price, looking at the news, okay, looking at what the people comment, go to the forum, ask. You can go to a gold forum, and the people is asking, should I be long? Guys, what are you doing? Yeah, we are holding long positions. Yes, I'm not gonna dump it. No, not very good. Not very good being short here. I mean, there is a disbelief. There is they don't like to accept that they are wrong. They don't like to accept. And the majority is, when you get into the crowd, you don't think by yourself. You don't think by yourself. It's how it is. You do the same. It's very hard to go against the crowd. Very hard. Feels uncomfortable. Feels unnatural. And that's why trading is hard. Because it's doing the contrary of the crowd. Okay? Tell me pairs. Let's look at some pairs. Exactly. Trade what you see. The price is telling you everything, basically. And then, well, you see the news, you see the sentiment indicators. Right? If this is confirming, everything is confirming, the news is confirming. The only thing that is not confirming is that everybody, no, don't. The people who is losing, they want you to convince you. Let's look at Euro Pound. I think it's a very interesting moment on Euro Pound. I'm going to remove my levels so it's a clean chart. Let's look at a weekly. Yeah, this is a weekly chart. A little bit noisy. I don't recommend to trade too much this pair now. It's a little bit noisy, but looks like the euro is weaker than the pound. The euro area, the euro countries are more, they have more uncertainty than the pound. And the pound is having good news, and price is confirming also that. So, on a technical level, is a downtrend. On a technical level, it's a downtrend. Price is making lower lows and lower highs, but it's not clear. If you look at the candle, it's not very, very clear, right? not clear. It's not clean. It's not clean. The price action is not clean. You want to trade clean price action. Yeah, you can trade range, Boyki. If I trade range, yeah. But if there are trending markets, why I should bother? Trending markets is where you get these nice explosive moves. On range is more up, down, up, down. The timeline to update, good question. What is the timeline to update or change sentiment? You need to be aware every day of it. Every day. Okay? But you can do your analysis every weekend, for example. Or the more long-term analysis, looking at the news, looking at the commodities. You look at unbalance, look at the price. The first thing you can go to look at this question is a good question. What steps do you follow to find trending markets? In Forex, this is the first thing I can do to look for trending markets. I come here to the brokers and see, okay, euro dollar, pound dollar, there is a big unbalance. There is a big imbalance on the positions on the order book. And then I go to the charts, pound dollar, let's see what happens. It's confirming. It's an uptrend. Okay, now I want to be a buyer. I have 3 kind of entries, ABC. I know where my levels are. Control the risk, enter the trade, and every day a little bit. Don't risk 10%. I mean, risk 1, half a point, 2%. Don't get crazy. Every day a little bit. Guys, if you have a net, the longer you trade, the better. The better. The newbies are the ones who need to make a lot of money one day, if they are lucky. And the best way is to make a lot of money one day and go away. Because then, if you don't have a net, long term, other traders are going to exploit you, not the other way around. So let's look at oil for a second. Pan is asking. Let's see if this is oil here. No, this is. Let me load another tab. This is crude oil on a weekly chart. It's slightly positive. It's going up, but right now we are on a more range. It's getting inside the 100 level. Price action is coiling there, 100. So above 110, I will be very positive on oil if there is a continuation to the upside. If. And below 90, I will be positive also if there is a continuation to the downside. There is no more questions. There is no more look at this. All right? The sentiment is, there is a divergence here. Yes, it's been recorded. How do I handle economic data, release, and news? I like to stay away. If I have a positive trade, maybe I trade my stop and let's see what happens. But I usually stay away and wait for the behavior after to see if it confirms the expectation. How we can identify if major is clean or not clean for trade? I mean, what's the best time frame for it? Daily. Daily is the best time frame to identify if it's clean or not. Are we going to remove this fast? This is clean. This is last days. This is clean, right? Momentum, it's up unbalanced. Supports are being bought. Supports are being bought. Look at this. These are clues. This is giving info at every level. So it boils down to check correlation on pairs. Yes. Find the trend on high correlation imbalance. Yes. Find entry, stop loss, and exit. Yes. Pan, I mean, fantastic. You are learning. The thing, Mason Lee is asking a good question. What days technical analysis will not work? The problem with technical analysis is that they know where you put your entries and your stop loss. So it's a game above the game. So it's they know that you know that they know that you know that they know, and so on. You get the point? So weekly, daily, Braham, for starting analysis, weekly, daily chart, top-down approach. Think about what implications it can have for the economy, strong, weak currency. Look at the banks. What are their policy, the currency, okay? And then look at the charts to see if it confirms or not, if the traders are excited or not. Yeah, fundamentals, I mean, you are always aware of fundamental data, but at the same, they can say very positive things about one thing. Okay, you have that on your mind, and then you look at the chart to see if that confirms or not. Okay? So pound dollar, possibility of a good uptrend here cooking, right? We are breaking these levels. We are breaking these lines after some period of price narrowing here, and now we're breaking up 170, 180. It's very possible. It's very possible. Okay? So, guys, keep it simple, all right? Think about why it's moving. Look at the big players, market makers, big banks, central banks, interest rate, and so on. And then look at the chart to see if the price is confirming higher highs, higher lows. Look for failures, and so on. How many time we have left? Maybe we can look at another pair or something. Let's see, dollar CAD, very interesting. Dollar CAD is very interesting also. All right, pound CAD, look at this. This is dollar CAD. Right? Very interesting. Momentum to the upside, higher highs, higher lows. I don't know why you want to be smart and take the top here. This is clean, exactly. Compare this to euro pound. Let's look at pound CAD, for example. Okay, this is very interesting chart. I have market here, supply, maybe, right? I'm thinking where these guys are gonna take profit. I don't know, but I'm looking at the left. I'm looking at the resistance level. I put myself, if I'm long from here, or I have 1,000 pips, where I will take profit, or what I need to see to exit, right? Failures, supply, speed to the downside, unbalance, and so on. And keep in mind, news, guys, news. When you have very, very good news and it's going up, I mean, very bad news and it's going up, it's the contrary. They use news to trap you. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing about, there is no secrets on trading. There is no magic. If the sentiment is strong, the levels get broken. That is how it is. If there is no sentiment, there is ranging market, there is no clear direction, and that's how it is. So, sentiment is strong, levels get broken. Because the people put the stops and they get stopped out. They put more stops, they get stopped out. They put more stops, and so on, so on, so on. Until the shorts think, okay, this is going up, I'm gonna buy. And that moment, is when it's gonna change the trend. That is when it's gonna change the trend. Okay? So guys, any questions, any idea, anything, any pair you want to look at it? Look like we have a little bit of time. Euro Aussie is interesting also. Euro Aussie is interesting to the upside. Yeah, Aussie Kiwi, we can look at it. Exactly, because the sentiment, Braham, that's the thing. That's the thing. Why pound dollar is going up with bad news? Because the people who is fixed with one idea, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down. They are fixated in their mind. Bad news appear. It's giving like a reason. Oh, bad news, I'm gonna sell my house. I'm gonna bet my house. Sure. And then boom. Right? Aussie Kiwi. Let's look at Aussie Kiwi. That is how it works, guys. Daily, Mason Lee. Daily, in my opinion, is the most, the most important. Thank you, everybody, guys. Aussie News, Aussie Kiwi, sorry, it's going down. It's a downtrend. It's a downtrend. That's for clear, right? Yes. Weekly, you get the trend. It's a downtrend. It's a downtrend. So start asking what economy is stronger? New Zealand economy, Australian economy. Which one is stronger? You look at it, you start thinking about it. Then, what do you want to be here? A buyer or a seller? What do you want to be here? Guys, focus. A buyer or a seller? A seller, right? Okay, we have our analysis, right? Now, areas to make business. I see one area here to become a seller. I see one area here to become a seller. Big number, 1. I see another area here to become a seller. In the daily time frame, okay? After the analysis. Remember the top-down approach? Sentiment, major trend, finding areas to make business, setup. Okay? I'm giving you I want you to make money. You make money, I'm happy. So, then you go to intraday, if you are an intraday player, or you wait for price to reach this level. You take the entries, A, B, C. Breakout, retest, failure. You have 3 kind of entries. So here you can take a failure, here you can take a retest, here you can take a breakout. A, B, C. Control the risk, follow the rules, and the money will follow you. Right? That's my view on this pair. If you don't make things simple, markets are very volatile, but the mind is more volatile. Your mind is more volatile than the markets. I can tell you that. Seriously. Your mind is more volatile than the market. You are going to change, you are going to have doubts, you are going to, right? Exactly. Think about that. So, any more pairs? We have time today. Dollar Swiss is interesting to the downside, right? Swiss is now these days a little bit like, let's look at the Euro Swiss, for example. Right? It's clean or not? I mean, right? I mean, what pair do you want to trade? Right? Pound dollar long or dollar Swiss, Euro Swiss? It's not very clean. So it's either a strong versus a strong, or it's weak versus weak. I'm trillionaire boy. Just joking. It's a long-term job. You make a little bit of profit every day, and yeah, thanks. Every day, half percent every day, a little bit, and it's okay. So Euro Swiss is, they are similar, right? If you ask me, looks like the Swiss is even stronger than the Euro. So let's look at dollar Swiss. I like it. Guys, Euro, Yen, Pound, Yen, they are telling me nice trades. We have some news of the Bank of Japan the other day saying we are going to continue to sell pound, to sell yens. Okay, looks like the people is believing that, and the people is putting the money behind that. So, right? So guys, follow the trend, control the risk, because there is more demand than supply. Nothing else. There is more demand than supply. Nothing else. Because they think the value is higher. they think the value is higher. Guys, what do you think is the most important factor in trading? Guys, price. Okay, price is a very, very, very important factor. Yes, it is. What do you think is the most important factor in trading? But it's not price, Pan. It's not price. Price is the second one. Psychology, yes, we said that before, okay? Patents, money management, psychology, price, those are very important. On a technical level, not on a trader level. On a technical level, the most important factor is time. Time. Right? Time. Why? Because Euro-Yen right now it's at 141.182. Right? This is where we are now. And I know by a fact that there is somebody on the other side right now to buy or sell, unless you go with 100 trillion or with 1 billion or whatever. But if you trade 10 lots, 20 lots, 100 lots, there is going to be somebody on the other side. How much is going to be that people on the other side willing to do business at that price? That I don't know. Okay? Let's look at intraday on Euro-Yen. That's what time is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the most important factor. Right now we are at 141. I don't know if we are going to be here 1 hour, 1 minute, 10 days, right? That is giving me information, okay? Keep that in mind, time. How good do you think your trade is if everybody can do it? How good do you think your trade is if everybody can do it? Very good or very bad? Ask yourself questions. What is telling me, well, right now its price is holding. Is getting accepted or no? That's the question you need to ask yourself. We're at 141, 174. Is price getting accepted or rejected? Exactly. Time will tell us. Right now, it looks like it's getting accepted. Right now. Is this a high price or a low price? I don't know. Everybody is deciding now. Some of them are going to hold. Some of them are going to take profit. Some of them are going to go short. Depends on many things, but it's going to be reflected on the price. So guys, let me tell you, if everybody can do the same trade like you, it's not a very good trade. It's not a very good trade. No, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I like to throw chicken bones to the floor. Chicken bones to the floor. If they point up, I go long. If they point down, I go down. Okay, guys, Q&A. Any questions? Any idea? Anything regarding this? We have like 1-2 minutes, I guess. Any questions? Any ideas? Did you like it? Are you happy? Do you want to see the next one? Finding areas to look for business? Areas to make business? Fantastic. Guys, add us on Skype, visit our webpage, centtraders.net, send me an email, carlos@centtraders.net or info@centtraders.net. Was my pleasure. Thank you, FX Street, for having me here today. Thank you, guys, everybody. I'm giving you my best thing here, guys, to you. I'm giving you my best for everybody. Lovely community. We are going to do that. Subscribe to the next webinar. Guys, good weekend, everybody. Have a nice weekend. I see you in the next webinar. Regards. Thank you, Boyki. Bye, everybody. Bye.